Hello, people. My name is Boss Salatosser, and this is Ego.
Hooray, 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 hooray.
Okay, so I came across a Reddit post that was sent to my email from the Pump It Up Reddit group. It is the thread Pump It Up as a Sport. I'll read it to you. I always consider Pump It Up a sport at higher levels. It deserves to be a sport more than a lot of other sports or other supposed sports like golf and pickleball. Hell, people call NASCAR and bowling a sport. I think the only reason nobody calls Pump It Up a sport is because there isn't any money to be made. Not exactly true. That's really sad in my opinion. I wanted to get a discussion going to see what other people think. Pump certainly fits all the criteria to be considered a sport. Okay, so as you can see, this or I guess temporarily links, whatever. So temporary links is pretty much starting a discussion about how come Pump It Up isn't a sport. Technically, it is a sport. It's been a sport for a long, long time. Okay, so I'm going to give like a short brief about Pump It Up as a sport when it comes down to me, my experience, my perspective, my story. Basically, Pump It Up basically has health benefits. It's not only a mental test, it's also a stamina test as well as an endurance test that pushes players' limits. What players can't what players don't get from the gym, they get from the arcade. Okay, it's a social outlet. All right, it's a social outlet. Uh, it's just an outlet where players feel they are more, at least these weebs, these nerds, these regular folks feel a lot more comfortable that they can be themselves in a arcade environment as well as home and play these games in the style that they want. And don't get it twisted. All right, these sweaty nerds that are in the arcade can be adrenaline junkies, no different from people that are lifting weights in the gym. So that's like my brief going off the head about Pump It Up. I touched the benefits, which is hey, not only you can lose weight with the right diet or the right food intake in place, but it can transform your body. It is impact exercise, and it's the only sport where it is you against the machine. You are fighting. You are going against another person when you compete, but at the end of the day, it is you and the machine as well as the environment. Pierre Watson made he, and I'm going to read you his stuff because he made some valid points. It's niche. That's the main issue. Certainly, there is emphasis on physical stamina, execution technique, and muscle toning, which is core, glutes, calf, thighs, shoulders. And tournaments have been sponsorship by Red Bull, Sports Drinks, and similar. But from hold up, but man, I'm still losing my track. But from a viewership and monetization standpoint, there isn't heavy interest by people who have never played the game since they can't comprehend difficulty wise what they're looking at. That doesn't mean we can't treat it as a sport, just it's not a more mainstream workout or activity that is widely known and appreciated. This is where that line right there, and I'm going to read this again. From a viewership and monetization standpoint, there isn't heavy interest by people who never played the game since they can't comprehend difficulty wise what they're looking at. I feel like Watson just answered his own question because you need to think of these games like wrestling, okay? You have to think about these games like wrestling. And do you sit there and see, like WWE, do you see WWE as a sport? Or you see WWE as entertainment? Okay? Because in WWE, what is a job of a manager for a wrestler like Paul Heyman? His job is to promote the wrestler, Brock Lesnar. Not only to get him over, but get his opponent over and get the company over. Okay? All right, that is called selling. He's selling to people who don't know who these people are, all right, and giving them a reason to care.
When I talk for Brock Lesnar, I have to get Brock Lesnar over. I have to get his opponent over. I have to sell you on the event, the network, the live event, the concept that we're pushing on television, whether it's WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, just a network special, whatever that may be.